Hi Emma, how are you doing? Sit down,
I'm
sit down.
good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really well. How are things?
Things are good.
Okay. First off, I want to ask you, how was parenting class? Your first one.
The parenting class was really interesting. They went over an outline of what we will be discussing throughout the sessions within the class. And it sounds like it's going to be very beneficial.
Okay.
We didn't go over any time management, but I
Okay.
think that will come soon.
Okay, so I'm glad that you said that. And so with today's session, we can also talk about the time management. So I'm going to make a note of that and make sure that we come back to that.
Okay,
So
great.
I want to start by asking you, other than the parenting class, how have things, what's happened?
I've been able to sleep before midnight this
Mhm.
last week, so that's a good thing.
Okay. I'm glad to hear that. It sounds like you feel really happy about being able to sleep a little earlier because you'll be well rested.
Yeah, I feel really energized because I've been getting a little more sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So I do feel well rested.
I'm glad to hear that. So last time we talked a lot about your daughter's school referring you to our agency, and we only talked about the facts surrounding the referral.
Yeah.
So for this session, I want us to talk more about, your feelings surrounding the referral and then maybe come up with some goals to help address that situation.
Okay.
Also considering time management.
Okay.
So let's begin. So take me back to the day. What was happening when you received that notice?
Okay. So it was a Thursday, and I just dropped Emma off to school
Okay.
late again. Um, I woke up late.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I went to work late too, but
Mm-hmm.
thank goodness my supervisor was cool about it because we didn't have clients until
Mm-hmm.
about 12.
Okay.
But then later in the day, I found out that we were having a meeting at 3 o'clock. So I was a little panicky because Emily needed to be picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And I tried to call my husband to see if he would be able to pick her up. And as always, he did not answer.
Mm-hmm.
So Em was kind of stuck
Mm-hmm.
at school until I was able to get her.
Emma, I can definitely understand how frustrating that could be. You have to work, you have your commitment with work, but then Emily needs to be picked up, and then her father's not available. How does all of that make you feel?
Honestly, it really pisses me off. Um, it's hard because I'm working every day to provide for me and my daughter,
Mm-hmm.
and my husband, hasn't been trying to contribute since we've separated 6 months ago. He has not tried to contact him at all, and it's really frustrating because she's asking about her father.
Of
And
course.
also, I've been planning my sister's funeral, as I stated in a session, and that's frustrating as well because no one seems to want to help me, not even my dad.
Wow. I can definitely tell that you have a lot on your plate. You have to care for Emily by yourself. You have to get to work and do your job. You have been tasked with planning your sister's funeral, and you have to try to find time for yourself.
I don't have any time for myself. I just don't know what to do anymore. My husband is not helping with M, and I have to do everything on top of planning my sister's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like it's just overwhelming. It feels like it's over for me.
That is a lot. And many single mothers do have a lot on their plate, and it's perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed. Now, when you say it's over for me, what do you mean by that?
I just feel like I'm just so overwhelmed, and maybe it'll be better if I didn't wake up one day.
Wow, it's an incredible feeling. Um, does that mean that you're thinking about killing yourself?
No, that's not what I'm saying. But I do feel like everything is just getting a little too much.
Mm-hmm. I'm really sorry that you're going through that. And but I want to point out to you that you have incredible strength. The fact that you're waking up each morning to get your daughter to school, even if she is late sometimes. The fact that you are getting out of bed to go to work. The fact that you are working each day to provide for her. The fact that you're sitting here with me. That all points to that incredible strength.
You know what? I never really thought about all of those things individually. It just needs to get done, and I never saw how much strength comes out of just doing normal routines.
Absolutely. And I want to reiterate by saying I want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. So, with all that is on your plate, what do you think you could do to reduce some of the things on your plate?
Honestly, I'm not sure right now.
Okay.
It just seems so chaotic.
Okay.
I don't even know where to begin.
Okay. That's okay. So, let's focus on the 3 things that you mentioned. And that was getting Emma to school on time, getting your sister's funeral planned, and then dealing with Greg. Mm-hmm. So among those things, what is the top priority?
The top priority is getting Em to school on time.
Okay. So we're going to start there. What do you think you can do to make sure that Emily gets to school on time?
I feel like what I could do is get up earlier.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That sounds like a good start. So now let's map out the distance from school to home and then from school to work.
Okay, so the distance from M's school to the house is about 10 minutes.
Okay.
And the distance from M's school to my job is about 25 minutes, depending on the traffic.
Okay. So now it sounds like the main task is to wake up earlier to get enough time to get to all the places that you need to be. Mm-hmm. So what is the latest you can wake up to achieve that goal of getting Emily to school?
I think the latest I can get up is about 6:30.
Okay.
Because it takes us an hour to get dressed.
Mm-hmm.
We will be ready about 7:30, 7:45.
Okay.
And then it'll take us probably until like 8:10, 8:15 to get Emily to school.
Okay. And
then I start work at 9 o'clock. So that gives me a good cushion to like deal with the traffic and everything.
Good point. That's a very good point. So that sounds great. And I'm glad that we mapped that out. So how about you set your alarm for, say, 6:20, so that gives you an opportunity to hit the snooze button one time, lay there for like 10 minutes, and then get up at 6:30. What do you think?
Yeah, I think I can do that. I usually use my phone for my alarm, and I usually have about like 5 or 6 alarms. Mm-hmm. So it seems like I snooze a lot, so I think snoozing one time will help me get up.
Okay, so what about getting a small alarm clock?
Oh, I never thought about that.
Okay, so I made that suggestion because I was using my phone before.
Okay.
And I would hit the snooze like a million times. And so I got myself a small alarm clock, and I put it a little away from the bed, so now when that alarm goes off, and I now have to get out of bed to go turn it off. And once I'm up and doing everything that I need to do. So maybe that could work for you.
Yeah, that sounds like it could definitely work. Me having to get up out of bed instead of having the phone right there in my bed. That sounds like it would definitely work.
I'm glad that you are going to consider that. But it seems like that is our time for today.
Okay.
And I want us for next session to start to focus on how are you doing with your sister, because I still get that sense that you're still not able to talk about it. So I want you to sit on that thought in these 2 weeks, and then when we come back for our session, start talking about it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So I hope you have a great week, and see you next time.
Okay, you too.
All right.